Hi everyone, and welcome to the full moon vibes. So this is probably one of my favorite full moons so far, because this is something that I have lost so much energy on, so much stress over, and that is what other people think about me, or at least what I think that they are thinking. It's almost like mind reading for people, but you don't quite know what they're thinking, but you're convinced that you know because you feel it, and therefore it becomes your truth. So very interesting full moon, because what this full moon is actually calling us to do is to let go of this. So let go of the illusion of us thinking that we know what other people are thinking, or we are guessing, or we're convinced of it. Because in most cases, we actually don't know. We have no idea. We could very well be wrong. They could be thinking about something completely different, and they're just looking at us while they're thinking about something else. And then we think, oh my God, it has to be about us. I've been there, I get that. I still do that sometimes. Like, it happens to the best of us. So because of this, it's kind of a bit like you want to be connecting to people, you want to be happy with people, but because of this constant subtle judgment that's going on in the back of your mind, and you're not always quite being sure of what are they thinking, what's happening, what am I thinking, how do I feel about this, how am I going to show up based on how I think that they're thinking about me. You know, I know that you're probably laughing right now because you're like, yep, I get that. We lose so much energy when we do that. So much energy is taken away from our creative projects, from our relationship with ourselves, relationship with other people. God, just doing normal fun things instead of doing things for the sake of acceptance, for the sake of changing someone's perceived judgment that we might think that they have of us. So what you might find coming up during this full moon as well is that your bladder issues might be flaring up. You might have some vein issues coming up. So bladder is all about territory. It's about how we find ourselves within our own skin. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about other people challenging us within that? Vein issues might be coming up, which is all about communicating ourselves as well. Communicating what it is that you need. You might have also skin irritations coming up, feeling irritated by, or just having had enough of feeling people's judgments or feeling people's negative thoughts or opinions about you as well. So if you want to find out more of the hidden messages behind these areas and so much more, you can go grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy. This book is also now on a metaphysical app, which is a mobile phone app. You can get it at metaphysicalapp.com. So apart from all these things that's happening as well, there's also a very deep need that you might be feeling in terms of just needing balance to be restored. You need harmony to be restored. Because yes, it's exhausting to think and feel all these things. You can get to the point where you think yourself into such an uncomfortable place in your life that all that you want is just, you just need a break from it, right? You just need to breathe. You just need to have a fun day where you just don't care. And wouldn't that be great if that was just every day? And that is what this moon is asking you. Make that your everyday. Because even apart from that, wanting to always be the perfect version of what people see of you, what comes with that is also the need to be perfect. It's almost like it's like a desire to keep things perfect, to keep things nice, to keep things great. But it's not necessarily about how it makes you feel. It's how you think it's going to make the other person feel. And that is what's more important to you than what you feel. Where did our relationship go with ourselves, right? Doesn't that sound familiar? This is some fundamental questions that you might be starting to ask yourself over this full moon. You might be feeling that sense of exhaustion when you're just like, I don't know if I just want to do this anymore. This is just, I've had enough. And if you feel like that, perfect. Now, some of you might also be feeling in conflict with that, because it's like, I don't want to disrupt the peace. Everything is so peaceful right now. If I can just stay in this contorted morph sense of self that I've moved myself into for the sake of making other people happy. But at whose peace are we talking about right now? Perceived peace that you think that's really there? Is the peace there, or do you think it's just there because you don't have to deal with confrontation by being who it is that you want to be? Think about that, okay? So here what this moon is trying to show you is learn to share your good feelings and your bad feelings. You are allowed to. If the next person can do it, then why can't you? What exactly sets you apart? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So don't be afraid of who it is that you really truly want to be, despite of what you think is expected of you. Despite what you think is expected of your appearances and how you should behave and what you should say and all the right things. It's exhausting even talking about it, to be honest. So, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for this healing meditation. And so let's start to shift how we feel about how other people, or at least we think we feel, about how they feel about us. Let's take a nice deep breath. There we go. And as you're taking that nice deep breath, I also invite you to just allow a beautiful light to flow over you, flowing through every single cell in your body. Bringing calmness, balance, and also peace with it. Flushing out any stress that you might have felt today. Releasing exhaustion and tiredness that you also might be feeling. And also releasing other people's stress and burdens that you might have taken on. And as you do that, you're starting to feel your body unwinding. It's almost like a twisted towel that's now just unwinding, becoming looser and looser and expanding. I invite you now to find yourself in an empty space and you are standing on a stage. And as you're standing there on that stage, I invite you now to invite just a group of people and to come stand in the audience. Now these can be people that you care about, especially people whose opinions you care about. Or it could also be just strangers. People, maybe strangers freak you out a little bit more than people that you know. And I invite you now, as they are standing there in that audience, observe how you feel. Not they feel, but you feel. How do you think they see you? And as you're observing that, observe the emotional stress and also the physical tension that might be coming up in your body, and shifting your focus and awareness to the areas inside of your body where you feel this. And as you're becoming aware of this, allowing this beautiful light now to flow through your body from your head down, out your feet, resolving and dissolving the emotional stress and also physical reactions that you might feel. Releasing all this old tension. Releasing the worries that you feel, worrying about what people think about you. And perhaps instead I invite you to perhaps realize that their judgment towards you could perhaps be only mirrored reflections of how they feel about themselves. Because how else can they see it if they don't have that in them as well? Perhaps people judge you because you do things in your life that they feel they cannot do. And you make them perhaps feel small and incompetent without them even realizing it. And they try to deal with that incompetency through judgment towards you. Either way, I invite you to perhaps see that it doesn't really have anything to do with you. So why take on a false perceived judgment that never belonged to you in the first place? And just as you're also standing on that stage, I invite you to allow that stage to move up higher and higher and higher and higher up. And the people in the audience are just staying there down at the bottom, you're looking down at them. And as you're moving higher and higher and higher up, the influence of the connection that you felt with them becomes weaker and weaker, lighter and lighter. Weaker and weaker, lighter and lighter. Moving up higher, higher and higher until you feel these cords just snapping one by one by one by one. All these old cords between you and these people just snapping, whether you knew them or not. And finding yourself standing on this beautiful stage, now it's just you and your own, and this is your stage, this is your platform to grow, to heal, to transform, and to change as you wish. Without judgment, without being or feeling interrupted by anyone's opinion. Feel the power of that stage as you're standing there tall and strong. Finding your sense of self in that moment. Knowing that you are exactly where you need to be in your life. And I invite you to hold on to that feeling, hold on to that sensation, let it be there. Let it integrate and sink into every single cell in your body. Even just as you're standing there on that stage, allowing you from your feet to grow roots down into the earth, to stay in that state and just ground yourself into that. And as you ground, also just feeling balanced and coherent within your beautiful, newly revealed identity and sense of self. And I invite you now to slowly start to follow my voice back into the room, back into the here and now. Allowing your body to integrate this process and to heal throughout the day and night. Knowing that the part of you that always felt weighed down by judgments from other people now is just a choice. And I invite you to choose to no longer needing to be involved with anyone's judgments or opinions. Make that choice right now. And when you are ready, you can gently open your eyes and welcome back. And until next time, guys, be the light that you are.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me, and remember to grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy on Amazon, 679 medical ailments. And I also wrote about the psychosomatic root causes of that, and I'm spoiling you because I even added key points for you to start looking at important questions that you can ask yourself to start improving your quality of life. And also remember to catch me on Instagram, Evette Rose, 1 with the digit 1, and Metaphysical Anatomy on our Facebook fan page. Bye guys!